What did he say?
Rebecca being given for free for the Cyberpunk collab made it very easy to build teams around Lucy, and the best part is that she's not highly dependent on Rebecca and Monnier to begin with, so if you don't really like Rebecca's playstyle or if you don't have Monnier, there are a lot of options at your disposal to pair with Lucy with minimal damage losses. In today's video, I'm gonna rank all Lucy team comps that I've tested in End State Matrix based on the team points which directly corresponds to the overall team's performance in terms of damage, and I'll also cover why each team got the score or ranking based on buffing capabilities and pure gameplay perspective. Keep in mind that all footage used in this video was captured on the creator server, so some things may be subject to change upon official release. All other teams was compared to the best in slot team featuring Monnier, Rebecca, and Lucy. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Coming at 9th place is S1 Monnier, Mortefi, and Lucy with a damage loss of 28.4%. Monnier provides superior buffing capabilities to Lucy in terms of off-tune build-up rate that allows Lucy to tune break and do hack damage, which is very similar to tune rupture damage every rotation. But the tragedy here is that Monnier was the one holding this team back from doing more damage. Mortefi is designated as a concerto efficient unit, but you need to put in a bit more effort into his gameplay to outro with him quickly, and that can only be done through swapping out of animations of your teammates to use his abilities to avoid wasting time. And Monnier does not allow us to do that in the subsequent rotations because an intro skill from Lucy to Monnier sends her straight into the fly mode, which you cannot swap out of. So you're always restricted to the usual 1-2-3 rotation, which makes Mortefi take way too much field time, costing you a lot of points. Mortefi's damage contribution was also pretty low compared to the other sub-DPS units on the list, which is the more reason to outro quickly with him as a way to make up for that flaw. Coming at 8th place is Showkeeper, Mortefi, and Lucy with a damage loss of 25.6%. This team came up higher than the previous team because you can outro quickly with Mortefi in the subsequent rotations by swapping out of Showkeeper's animations into Mortefi to use his abilities, which helps him regenerate concerto energy very quickly. Replacing Monnier with Showkeeper also indirectly reduced Lucy's field time because after the Lucy to Showkeeper intro skill, you can always come back to Lucy and use her skill 2 times to help her regenerate forte stacks, and you can always use it again after the intro from Mortefi to Lucy because it'll be off cooldown by then, which helps Lucy do high damage over a short period of time. It's also worth mentioning that running a crit damage forecast on Showkeeper helped her contribute a little bit more in terms of damage to the entire team, which helped this team get more points overall. Coming at 7th place is S4 Verena, Mortefi, and Lucy with a damage loss of 23.6%. At first glance, a lot of players might look down on this team because no one provides off-tune build-up rate to trigger hack damage more often, and nobody provides tune break boost to increase the hack damage, and S4 Verena only grants 15% spectral damage bonus for Lucy in addition to her universal buffing capabilities. But the advantage that this team has is speed. To make up for the low buffing capabilities compared to the other teammates, Verena doesn't need the intro skill from Lucy after every rotation, so it can always be given to Mortefi to help him with quick concerto energy regeneration. And when your rotations are properly executed, every subsequent rotation shouldn't take you more than 25 seconds, which is really fast because the average time spent on a full rotation in Withering Waves is between 30 to 40 seconds. But keep in mind that this team will perform terribly if you fail to take advantage of the swapping out of animations between Verena and Mortefi to speed up your rotations. Coming at 6th place is S4 Verena, Yuno, and Lucy with a damage loss of 15.6%. This was one of my favorite teams to play with because Verena allows you to take full advantage of Yuno's damage dealing capabilities in an indirect way. Verena doesn't need the intro from Lucy after every rotation, so you can always give it to Yuno, cast her enhanced skill, and swap out of the animation to Verena before you start a new rotation. What this essentially does is give Yuno full forte stacks after the intro from Verena without any careful execution to get full stacks after an intro like you would do when you're playing her as a main DPS, which I've covered on the channel. So you get to go all out by consuming the full stacks to do damage and cast our liberation to get new ones and then go crazy all over again. So it's more like an actual Lucy double DPS team comp, which is why it was one of my favorite teams during testing. Keep in mind that needs a good investment, like at least her signature weapon, to take full advantage of what this team can actually do. Coming at 5th place is Shorekeeper, and Lucy with a damage loss of 11%. Naturally, Shorekeeper did better as a Verena replacement due to her better buffing capabilities such as extra crit rate, which basically gave and Lucy a 100% crit rate throughout the entire run. It's also worth mentioning that Shorekeeper's damage contribution helped with a little bit of team points acquisition, and she also allowed Lucy to use her default enhanced skill twice per rotation to generate stacks very quickly. You need a good investment in your to bring out this team's best damage potential. Coming at 4th place is S1 Monnier, and Lucy with a damage loss of 10.7%. It's a bit of an upgrade by using S1 Monnier as S0 Shorekeeper's replacement, but you can see that the difference in damage loss is only about 0.3% compared to the previous team, and that's because was missing a few crit hits, and Monnier also prevents you from going back to Lucy to use Lucy's skills to generate stacks like you can do in the Shorekeeper team composition, which contributed to spending a few extra seconds trying to generate Forte stacks after the Lucy intro from unlike the previous Shorekeeper team compositions that I've covered earlier. Keep in mind that the condition that I gave in the previous team still applies to this team composition. You need a good investment in your to achieve the best result in terms of damage. Coming at 3rd place is Shorekeeper, Rebecca, and Lucy with a damage loss of 5.9%. This team has everything Lucy needs to do high damage, ranging from heavy attack damage buffs, tune break boost, and hack damage buffs, which allows Lucy and Rebecca to do huge hack damage when the enemy has hack shifting applied on them, which is easy to do with Lucy and Rebecca. But what this team lacks is off-tune build-up rate, which only Monnier can provide. So you cannot do hack damage very often since you always need to chain break to get it, aside from the hack damage that you do from Lucy's liberation. And it's quite a big flaw with this team composition because hack damage is an integral part of Lucy and Rebecca's kit design that helps increase your overall damage output quite significantly when they are paired together. You cannot also intro to Rebecca from Lucy after every rotation to make Rebecca contribute more in terms of damage, since Lucy's outro skill is well made for Rebecca. Doing so prolongs the rotation since Shorekeeper really needs her intro skill from Lucy to generate concerto energy, which speeds up your rotations. Coming at 2nd place is S4 Verena, Rebecca, and Lucy with a damage loss of 0.03%. I know it might look weird that Verena Rebecca did better than Shorekeeper Rebecca team composition, but Verena fixes one of the major issues that I covered in the Shorekeeper Rebecca team composition. Since Verena does not need the intro skill from Lucy, you can always intro to Rebecca from Lucy after the rotation has ended, and basic attack to use Rebecca's Forte circuit to do damage while having the outro buff from Lucy. And right after using her Forte ability, you just have to go to Verena, use her abilities, and quickly intro back to Rebecca to use her liberation to do damage and intro to Lucy right after. So even though Verena does not provide the off-tune build-up rate that the team is lacking, Verena's low fuel time requirement and tweaking your rotations a little bit to make Rebecca do a little bit more damage than she would do if she didn't have the Lucy outro buff helped this team achieve almost the same performance as Lucy's best in slot team composition. Coming at 1st place is the best in slot team that every team was compared to, which is the S1 Monnier, Rebecca, and Lucy team composition. There's really not that much to say about this team since it took 1st place. Monnier and Rebecca provides everything that Lucy needs to reach her highest damage potential, but you can't really swap out of Monnier as soon as she enters the flying mode after the intro from Lucy, which makes the gameplay a bit boring after a while. You also cannot give the Lucy intro to Rebecca to potentially increase the team's overall damage output like I did in the Verena team composition, because that'll make the rotation too long since Monnier is not as fast as Verena. I think if I sweat a little bit more with the Verena Rebecca team composition, I could have gotten a higher or the same score as the Monnier Rebecca team, but this score is the best that I got out of 10 runs, which is the same process that I went through for every team composition, so my controller needs a break. There's one other team that I did not mention in this video, and that is Lucy, Cantarella, and Frolova. And that's because I activated Frolova's sequences while messing around with her on the creator server before I realized that she has synergy with Lucy. So if you can build that team on your account, be sure to test it out in End State Matrix against the treasure chest enemy in the first round and let me know how much points you get. Our Discord link will be in the pinned comment if you're having any issues with the game, interested in a free account review, or you just want a place to chill or hang out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.